This could be the place where what we do now is actually defining the future of higher ed. There are probably as many definitions of e-learning as there are people who define it. When we talk about e-learning, we're talking about a learning that is enhanced and technologically enhanced learning. So e-learning means learning that uses computers, networks, technology to be able to increase the amount of learning that takes place in any interaction. What you want to really try to do in hybrid learning is to raise each part of that learning experience to the very best level that you can. So you want the online portion of it to be very well designed, well delivered, easy to navigate, engaging in that sense. But then you also have to find ways when you're bringing those students together in the face-to-face part of blended learning that you actually do things with them that are going to really take them to that next level of learning. And that requires an entirely different way of thinking about your class. You used to think about your class in terms of covering the material. And now what you're thinking about is engagement, student engagement, both in the asynchronous part, the part that they're doing on their own, and then when you bring them face to face. That face-to-face time is the most valuable time that we have, and you have to make sure that you get the most out of it. I think MOOCs are something that we really need to pay attention to. And we need to for a couple of different reasons. One is the number of students that are engaged in those programs are going to help us to learn a lot about how students learn online, because we're going to know how much time they spend, who fails quizzes, who passes quizzes. Are there patterns that we can help understand? Some students that learn better with particular kinds of quizzes or tests or whatever. The second piece has a darker side to that, and the one that I'm using as my example right now is the Masters in Computer Science at Georgia Tech, where they're offering, based on MOOCs, partnering with Udacity, computer science program, master's degree, $6,600, and essentially what they've said is that they will offer it to any qualified student will be able to enroll in that entire degree for $6,600. There's a part of that should be really threatening to us, because where does it stop? Computer science is an easy one, but could you teach world history that way? Could you teach intro to psych? Could you teach intro to sociology? Where do you draw the line where you can't do that at that scale anymore? I am a Deweyan progressive Rogerian humanist, and so I think that helping somebody become self-actualized, a self-directed learner, taking control of their learning is one of the most important things that we can do for a person. I don't think that there's any conflict between what we try to do in the humanities, where we get to people think carefully about issues that are important to them, and then using the technology to do that. I think they marry together rather than conflict. 6 years from now, the students who are going to come, they are not going to expect to sit in the back of a big classroom and have somebody lecture them. That's just not going to be a part of their learning style anymore.